Hey everybody, this is Kevin, a CPA that does financial planning, and today I'm going to talk about that dynamic again of making a great living, but not able to build wealth. And this is something we see, from some of the articles out there. They say it may be an epidemic that people make a high income, $150,000, $200,000, $250,000. There's some headlines that people live paycheck to paycheck. I don't know if that's true, but we absolutely see people who make a great income and they say that they're extremely frustrated, that they're just not getting ahead. They're not building wealth. They're definitely not building generational wealth, which would mean, building wealth for your family, for those that come after you. So this video is about one of the dynamics that we see, and it's about a fear of loss and how a fear of loss prevents us from getting ahead. So bear with me for a second. I'll first tell you that when I first started, clients would come into the office highly motivated. They're meeting with a financial planner. That's a highly motivated situation. So we go through the financial planning software. They have goals, and then we go ahead and we say, all right, the financial planning software says you need to save $20,000 more per year. And I thought at the beginning that it was great just to say, all right, let's go ahead and save it. What ended up happening many times is that people would delay in starting their financial plan, starting the execution of that plan. And then a number of years ago, I read Shlomo Bernatzi as well as Richard Thaler, and they talked about that loss. Obviously, we know loss is very painful, but there's actually a fear of loss when people try to save money. And the fear of loss, let me take you into the scenario here. You make $200,000 a year. Over time, your lifestyle creeps up. You drive decent cars. You have a nice house. Over a period of time, your lifestyle creeps up. Now, you're still able to probably save in your 401k, but there's just not a lot of extra money. So what ends up happening is the person who's paying the bills gets terribly frightened of like, hey, now we're going to be taking $20,000 out to save. We're barely able to get by right now. And so there's just a pushback, a stop, a visceral reaction. And people don't come out and say, hey, I'm afraid to save. It's more one of those things where they just feel like we'll do it later. And so people will procrastinate. And so again, what Richard Thaler and Shlomo Bernatzi found is that people hate to save today. They'd much rather save in the future. Now, this is obviously, this part is intuitive. People would rather diet in the future. They'd rather exercise in the future. They'd rather save in the future. But this fear of losing the ability to spend the money, losing the ability to use the money, is a true fear. And so because of this, what we recommend clients do with us is they start low, and then they go slow and raise the amount that they're saving per month. So even if the financial plan says, all right, for you to be able to retire at 55, 60, for you to be able to buy the second house, to buy a plane, to buy a boat, whatever it may be, for you to be able to do these things, this is how much we see that you need to save, but let's start a lot lower. And then let's raise it slowly. And so, almost anyone can save another $100 a month. That makes $200,000 a year. So we set up the accounts, but we start funding them very slowly. Now this gets around this fear of, oh my gosh, what if we start saving the money and I don't have enough? The second issue, though, is just a simple one, that you can always turn it off. And if you save in accounts such as Roth IRAs, or if you save, well, you wouldn't be able to save in a Roth directly, but if you save into accounts that like a taxable account, you can always pull the money right back out if you need to spend the money. But starting low and going slow stops this visceral reaction. So that's the first thing we recommend. The second thing, and this is by the same two folks, Shlomo and Richard Thaler, is that we can save more tomorrow. So we make an agreement today that we're going to increase it. Okay, in 6 months, we're going to increase it by this much. In 9 months, we're going to increase it by this much. In a year. And so we're going to slowly start building. And so this does a number of things. It stops the shock, but it also allows people to see that account start to grow, that they started saving and investing more, and it starts to build momentum, a really positive momentum. So if you make high income and you're having difficulty saving and investing more of your money, sometimes it's just that your bank account will start to swell with money. And again, it seems like a great problem to have, but all of a sudden we have $60,000 in our bank account, and that's because we don't want to put it in an investment account because we feel like we're going to lose the ability to spend it. Well, again, if you have $60,000 in an investment account, move things over slowly towards, from savings accounts, checking or savings, move it slowly towards investment accounts and do the same thing. So anyway, this is Kevin, a CPA that does financial planning. If you're having difficulty while making a high income saving more, let us help with leading edge financial planning. Thanks.